We had 5 receivers taken in the first round last night. Jamar Chase went 5 to the Bengals. Jaylen Waddle to the Dolphins. The Eagles traded up with the Cowboys to select DeVonta Smith. The Giants took Kadarius Toney at 20. And the Ravens got Lamar Jackson some more help by selecting Rashad Bateman. Max Kellerman. Who is going to have an immediate impact like this season?
The answer is Waddle. Waddle's going to have an immediate impact. I mean, the best, I imagine that we agree, Stephen A. Jamar Chase with Joe Burrow is the best combination, but I don't think the Bengals are going to be very good. But I do think the Dolphins are going to be very good. I think Miami's going to be very good. And I think also what you were talking about, Stephen A., remember, I don't know how many weeks ago, how Kyle Pitts is the perfect fit there because Tua would have like a safety valve at tight end who always creates mismatches, and you don't really have to get chunk plays all the way down the field. Waddle's kind of the same thing. You can hand the ball to him. You can run a little bubble screen. You can just get him out in a little bit of space. It can be a short pass, and he can break you off a TD run, or at least a huge chunk play. And because of the leverage that he will have, in other words, like the Dolphins are already a good team. They're challenging. And I think Tua will be an ascending quarterback. And I think Waddle's presence there will accelerate all of that and be very obvious to us. So I'm going to go with Jaylen Waddle.
You know what? I can't argue with that. I'll try, but I'll openly admit I can't argue with that because that would have been my choice as well. I just have a sneaky feeling because Waddle's is just electrifying. This brother, this speed, this breakaway speed, and his route run. I mean, it's something special to behold. But you know what? I saw DeVonta Smith do that too in his absence. I saw Alabama not miss a beat when Waddle went down because they had DeVonta Smith. And when I think about DeVonta Smith in Philly with a Rager, okay, now Hurts, it's going to come down to him and his accuracy throwing the football. It's a familiar target that he'll be throwing that football to, make no mistake about it. But in the end, I just view it from the standpoint that the Eagles, being in the NFC East, I think that when you look at Waddle and you look at the rest of the AFC East, it's New England, it's Miami. I'm sorry, it's not Miami because he's on Miami, but New England and Buffalo. I think it's going to be a tougher time for him to do the kind of things that he's capable of doing, because I think it's going to be a tougher time for Tua to really get him the football. Nevertheless, I look at the Eagles and I look at them being in the NFC East with Dallas, Washington, even though their defense is real, and of course the New York Giants. And I think the chances of success, considering the discipline that DeVonta exercises, the fact that you're not looking for somebody that's just going to break it for you every single play. You're not looking for the home run. If as undersized as DeVonta Smith is, I think the potential with his route running, his precision, him knowing football the way that he does, his reliable hands, et cetera, plus some speed to boot, and you look at what he's bringing to the table with Rager on the other side, I think that he might have an immediate impact even more so than Waddle, even though I'm not trying to say he's better, because I think Waddle is sensational, and so is DeVonta Smith.
Well, look, if you look at, I mean, I know that like you also see the logic in Waddle, but if you look at the Dolphins, usually teams drafting as high as they drafted, and they traded back and still drafted up high, it's because they stink, like the Bengals, right, or the Eagles. That's right. Why usually you and so really Jamar Chase and DeVonta Smith are going to bad teams. They're not going to good teams. And the difference is Miami drafted where they drafted through trades. Originally, they got that number 3 pick through a trade. They were a very good team. And so you have that going for Waddle in the first place. And then the next thing is Jalen Hurts and Tua were on the same team, and Tua was better and preferred. And so, like, we know that the Dolphins have a better quarterback. At least he was better in college. I mean, he was preferred by universally in college. And so now you have a guy thrown to whatever you want to say about Tua so far in the pros. And remember, he's coming off a catastrophic injury. He's playing on a better team. And the receiver that so Waddle is going to a situation with a quarterback that we really do think more highly of than the quarterback that DeVonta Smith is going to. And, of course, Jamar Chase is maybe going to the quarterback we think highest of among the three. But, again, it's the Cincinnati Bengals. I think that the Miami Dolphins have a very good chance to win a suddenly very competitive AFC East with Waddle.
Well, for different reasons, the NFC East is more competitive. I mean, when you really, really think about it, I mean, as great as the AFC East is, and as great as it
Did
could
you just say the
potentially be,
NFC East?
Yeah, I see what he's saying. Yeah.
They all stink.
Oh my
You know what I'm
gosh.
saying? They all
This is
stink.
sad state of affairs.
They're more competitive in a way.
Listen, you had folks 2 games under 500 tied for first place in the NFC East. I mean, what is it? I mean, what's there to say, Molly? I mean,
Sad.
they
know,
weren't even
it's
500
sad.
teams.
You won
and they
game,
were
you
tied
might win
for
the
first
division.
place. They were tied for first place. That's what I'm saying. So from a standpoint of division, it's actually competitive because you don't know who's going to stink more week to week. That's really what goes on in the NFC East, and that can make it for a very productive year for DeVonta Smith in Philadelphia. Give Waddle props, too, by the way. He didn't have to play in that national championship game. He knew what his NFL prospects were, but he went out there still not 100% healthy and still showed up on that football field. Showed a lot of heart when he was in college.
Question.
I'm happy that he got picked high the way he did. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.